Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everybody's doing well out there. My name is Thomas Taylor III, coming to you live once again from Lawrenceville, Georgia, ladies and gentlemen. Well, yep, it's here. Father's Day. Wow. Yeah, this year is going by real fast, right? Oh, it's also Juneteenth, right? At the same time, got a lot of events this weekend. Got an event to attend later on this afternoon. But first, I want to say, happy Father's Day to all those fathers out there that's doing an amazing job, right? Like, I know it's not easy, but it's necessary, I also want to say thank you to all the single mothers out there who are actually holding it down as well, right? I was raised by single moms, man, so I know it's difficult, but it's necessary as well, you know. But on this Father's Day, what I want to talk to you about, kind of be brief, but what I want to talk to you about is leadership, you guys, right? And how important leadership is as a father, right? Because as we can see in this day and age, unfortunately, it's not real favorable for families. Crazy things are going on, and it's just not conducive, really, to have families. For some reason, it's an attack on families. It's an attack on separating the fathers from the family. And we all know why that is, because that's not nothing new. It's been going on, almost since the beginning of time, it seems like. But for us, it's been going on for a while, especially in our community. Like, so leadership, when it comes to fatherhood and leadership, I kind of talk about this all the time. It's necessary because in terms of leadership, you have to lead from the front, right? So those of us like myself, who didn't have a father, right? We didn't have an example of what leadership looks like in terms of being a husband, being a father, being a provider, being a protector. Some of us didn't have those things, right? So typically, when you grew up without a father, like myself and a lot of other brothers and women that's out there, you typically take one or two paths, right? You take the path almost of least resistance is you kind of be just like your father, right? And utilize what he did as an excuse, right? So you're not there for your kids, you're not there for your significant other. Why? Because nobody was there for you. Okay, and there's a lot of people out there who kind of stand on that because they didn't have. They say they don't know how to give, right? And then you have those of us who actually take a different path, and that other path is for those of us who didn't have a father. What do? We actually become the father that we wish we would have had, right? So sometimes people say, well, sometimes people don't know how, men don't know how to be a father. They don't know how to do this. All right. I say, for me, I try to keep it simple. And the simplicity is just become and do that thing that you wanted your father to do for you, right? Now, don't get caught up in perfection, right? Don't get caught up in trying to be perfect and being right. Just show up, right? Because I always say, showing up for your children and in society is half the battle, right? Why? Because most people won't. You find a reason why not to show up versus just showing up, right? So, as a father and as a leader out there, brothers, just show up, right? Just try to do a little bit more. Why? Because it's necessary, right? Because sometimes, kids get showered with gifts and things of that nature, but the reality of it is, you know, your children, my children, they just want our time, right? They just want us to physically be present. And that's one of the key ingredients of a leader, right? That's what I'm talking about. Leadership on Father's Day, because to me, they're synonymous, right? Why? Because when you look for a leader, you typically look in the front. You typically look ahead, right? So as a father and as a leader, if you're in the back somewhere, how can those individuals that's counting on us look for us? Where are they going to find us? Right? They got to look around? No, they should be looking ahead, right? Because when they look ahead, they're looking for that example. You know, young girls, what do they want? Young girls want to be edified, right? Young girls want to be told you're beautiful, you're smart, intelligent. You can do anything you put your mind to, right? That's what a father does. He edifies his daughters. And sometimes when young women do not get the edification early in life, they look for that for the rest of their life, right? And then they grow up, to be women, still looking for somebody to edify them, right? Young men, right? They look for that example of what a young man should look like, what he should do, how he should act, things of that nature. Now they're gonna have their own personality, right? But you, me, just be that example, right? So on this Juneteenth, on Father's Day, and again, happy Father's Day to all those fathers that's holding it down. I know it's not easy, again, but it's definitely needed and necessary. And then when you really understand the dynamics of our responsibility when it comes to providing, protecting, I had a conversation with my daughter, a few years back, and I told her, I said, hey, babe, there's two main, responsibilities that I have. One is to provide, and one is to protect. And when I ask you to do certain things, and then when you make a different decision, you take away my ability to do those two things, right? So she kind of really understood that from a different level, right? So I just want to keep, brothers out there encouraged, to say, hey, look, I understand it gets hard, right? Every single day it gets hard. And for some reason, it seems like it's getting harder. The thing about it is, we were built for this. We were meant to handle the weight, right? Women are built differently, right? They're not the same build to handle the responsibilities that's for us. Just like we're not built to handle the responsibilities that they have, especially carrying a child, right? Like, whoo, come on, man. Nah, I'm good on all that. Nah, I'm good. Right. So the different responsibilities that we have as men and the different responsibilities as women. But on this Father's Day, when it comes to leadership, I just want to keep, somebody encouraged out there, just to let you know that, hey, I understand, right? I feel your pain, right? We have to keep going. We have to continuously encourage one another, pat each other on the back, hold each other's arms up, lift each other up, right? Instead of, when you turn on the news, there's all this negativity, right? Of everybody shooting and killing and then like all these different things, right? To discourage us from being in our rightful place to lead, right? The whole world is looking at us, right? To see what we're going to do, right? Especially when it comes to family, right? And that's so important because the dynamics shift and change when the family structure is broken up and it's disproportionate, right? It just changes and the men and women are kind of left unprotected again. So on this Father's Day, I just want to tell somebody out there, hey, I understand. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. I know the burden gets heavy, right? But find somebody, right? Talk to somebody that's closest to you and start to talk to them about what's ailing you, right? Like how you feel about certain things, right? I had a conversation with somebody and I talk about in terms of my organization growing up without a father. And I say, I kind of keep it simple. And I say, what do you mean, Thomas? The simplicity of my organization in terms of growing up without a father is boils down to one question, right? So if those of us out there who grew up without a father, the simplicity of what I teach is one question. And the question is, you grew up without a father. How did it make you feel? Right? Yeah. How did it make you feel? And why is that important? It's important because we govern our lives based upon a feeling, right? So when you feel in a certain way, men, right? When you feel in a certain way, talk to somebody, right? Because I know you want to tap out. I know because it gets heavy. but talk to somebody and tell them how you feel. And I get it. I understand. We got an issue. We got a challenge with trust, right? That's a big issue is trust. But find somebody that you can trust to talk to, right? Because it'll be like a pressure cooker, right? Eventually, that pressure and that steam has to come out, right? And you don't want to direct that pressure to the people that you love, right? So on this Sunday morning, right? Leadership. Go out there and be the leader that your creator has destined and designed for you to be on this Father's Day. Well, hey, it's been a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. If you want to follow me, you can follow me. All of my social media or my business media is on my website. That's tailoryourdreams.com. Until then, go out there and make it a great Father's Day. Until we speak again.